Hey traders, this is Miss Put Options, and today is 12/21, 2014. We're going to go over a couple of stocks. Um, Before we go on with a couple of stocks, these stocks will be of interest for you on Monday on 12/22, 2014. Before we talk about the stocks, I want to share with you that anybody who tells you that they know exactly where the stock is going to land is a big fat liar. Do not believe anybody who tells you that. All we can do is take the lagging indicators that we have and try our best to make an educated guess at where the stock might possibly land. So do not believe anybody who tells you they know without a shadow of a doubt where the stock is going to land. Do not believe it. Do not fall for it. I'm telling you, they are lying. Okay, so with that being said, I received a, shall I say, a disturbing email from a gentleman, and I'm not going to mention any names, but he sent me an email saying that he was able to tell me without a shadow of a doubt where the stock was going to land, and all I needed to do was like his page and like his comments on this particular website, and he would give me information. However, he would not share with me how he derived at this information. Now, with that being said, that's another no-no. I would not recommend you counting on anybody when it comes to placing your trade. Sure, it's okay to listen to other people. However, do your own homework before you enter a trade. Number one, so you know what you're doing, and number two, when you lose your money, you have no one to blame but yourself. So do not fall for these types of scams as well. I asked the gentleman to tell me what type of indicators that he was using, and he refused to do so. And basically, he just told me to follow what he did, and I would profit. And I don't believe in that, because my rationale is if I just constantly followed this gentleman and did whatever he did and did whatever he told me to do, guess what happens? If he gets hit by a car tomorrow, then so does my money. So I'm not here to cover up anything. I try to provide you with as much information as I can, and I normally use Facebook more than any other avenue in order to show you what I'm looking at. So it is best that you check out my Facebook page versus any other avenue. So with that being said, let's move on. We're going to be talking about stocks that are possible will be possibly be financially rewarding for you on 12/20/2014. So the first one is Honda. The ticker symbol for Honda is HMC. And I said here that I made this above comment that Honda will possibly have a gap closure at the 3150 mark. I made this comment on 12/17/2014, and if you look at the chart here, it looks like Honda did attempt at this particular area here to try to close the gap. It did not close the gap. It went up against some resistance. It fell back down, and it looks like it's attempting to rise back up to the 3150 dollar mark. So we have to keep an eye out on Honda on Monday on 12/20/2014. All right, the next one we're going to talk about, the ticker symbol is NBR. We're looking at a daily view here. So do not expect these trades to happen overnight, especially since we're looking at a daily view here. I made the comment that NBR had a double bottom, possible gap closure at the $15 mark. And as you can see currently, this is where the closure is. This is the area here I'm talking about. And currently, NBR is trading a little bit over $13. So it looks like $13.50 something cents. I can't really see because this arrow is in the way. It looks like it's over the 50 percentile fib line. So as long as everything is going well, as long as it's heading in the right direction with the fib line, as long as volume is great, and as you can see, it's over the middle Bollinger Band, I anticipate that we will hit this $15 mark. We will hit this closure area here. But once again, on Monday morning, you check the chart out yourself. Do not trade blindly is my whole point. Do not do it. Do your own homework. All right. The next one we're going to be looking at is TOT. I made the comment on December 17th that TOT was going to have a possible gap closure at 59.50 area. This is this area here. And as you can see, we were in a downward trend and it's attempting to retrace back upward here. Once it reaches over this middle Bollinger Band and once it hits our 50% fib line, which is roughly at the 54.47 mark, we would definitely see some upward momentum there and possibly a gap closure here at the 59.50 mark with TOT, and we're looking at a daily view. Now, like I said, this is a daily view, so do not expect this to happen overnight, but I do expect to see some type of closure before you enter the trade. Do your own homework, okay? Do your own homework. Don't sit here and listen to what other people tell you to do. The next one we have is RYN. We're looking at a daily view of RYN. This is a comment I made regarding RYN. I said possible gap closure at the 28.30 mark, and this is the 28. I take that back. This is the 28.30 mark in this particular area here. However, NYN has another gap closure here at the $32.14 mark. So if this stock starts trading upward here and it gets to the 50 percentile fib line, there's a great possibility that it will attempt to fill this particular gap here at the $32.14 mark. But right now it's trading roughly a little over $27.82. So let's really concentrate on the $28.30 mark before we do anything else. Let's pay attention to that closure first before we even think about the 32.14 mark, where there is an actual gap at that particular area as well. Like I said, this is a daily view. Do not expect this trade to happen overnight. It's a low dollar stock. It's not like it's Priceline or Google or anything like that. Those more high dollar stocks have a tendency to fill these gaps quickly, but we have a low dollar stock. What do I mean by that? It's only trading for a mere $27.82. So do not expect a serious jump in this stock anytime soon. The next one we're going to be talking about is CREE, and all these trades hopefully will have a profit somewhere either shortly after 12/22/2014 or shortly thereafter. This is the comment that I made on 12/17/2014 regarding CRRE. I said possible gap closure at the $39 mark here, and as you can see, the stock is currently trading at 31. This looks like 31.20. Where we have to definitely look at the parabolic SARS, and as you can see, they're currently in a downtrend, and we also have to look at volume, make sure our volume is going to be up to par, and we're also going to have to look at the middle Bollinger Band. This is my abbreviation for Bollinger Band. Once the stock creeps up and it hits that middle Bollinger Band, and then it goes over our 50 percentile fib, we can anticipate some possible gap closure here in this particular area. Once again, this is another low dollar stock. We're looking at a daily view. Do not expect for this to happen overnight, but I do expect, and I reiterate, I do expect that there's going to be possible gap closure once it reaches over the middle Bollinger Band, and once it hits the 50 percentile fib. And once we see those parabolic stars going in a uptrend, like they're going in an uptrend here, as you can see, they're going in a downtrend here. All right. The next one we're going to be looking at is XLE. Again, we're looking at a daily trade. This is the comment that I made on December 17th, 2014. And these trades that I'm talking about, you want to really look at the charts on 12/22/2014, which is this coming Monday. The comment I made on the 17th was that XLE will possibly have a gap closure at the $79 mark. And as you can see, it surpassed that particular mark. Right now it's trading for $80.57. And then possibly I said the next stop will be at the $85 mark. So if you look at your fib here, it looks like your $85 mark is roughly at the 76.4 percent fib line. So possible closure as high is here. So we have already surpassed the $79 mark that I told you about. That at the time the stock was trading lower than $79 when I made this comment. So you see that there was the gap closure here at the $79 mark. It's currently trading at $80.57. Looks like we have some resistance here at the 50 percentile area here. If it gets, and it's over the middle Bollinger Band, which is a beautiful thing. Once it gets above the 50 percentile area, we can possibly look for gap closures here at the $85 mark. Next area of interest for sure would be the $82.30, $31 mark. But once again, do your own homework. Don't pay attention to what anybody else says, including Miss Put Options, because all I have is lagging indicators and the Fibonacci retracement tool. So before we get to the $85 mark, pay close attention to the realistically the $82.31 mark, which is the 61.5 fib area. Okay. Next one we're going to look at is PXD. Again, we're looking at a daily view here. This is the comment that I said regarding PXD on December 17th. Today is the 21st. These trades are going to be good for December the 22nd, which is this coming Monday, tomorrow to be exact. And I said look for possible gap closure at the $60 mark. And as you can see here, this is the area that needs to be filled. Currently, the stock is trading for 152.70. As you can see, it has some resistance here at the 50% fib here. And what I do not like here, it looks like it has a bottoming tail on the daily chart, but you have to look at the other time frames as well. Possibly the next area of interest will be at the 61.8% fib. Which is roughly at 158.78. So we're looking for this particular gap to close on PXD. And like I said, I mentioned this particular closure on the 17th of December. And so do your own homework on Monday morning, which is December 22nd, which is a Monday. And as you can see, the parabolic stars are going up here in an upward trend. So, but what I'm really concerned here is hit up against some resistance at the 50% fib line here, and hopefully this topping tail does not make the stock go downward again here. So we have a topping tail here at this particular area that I'm a little concerned about, but as you can see, it is trading above the middle Bollinger Band, so we just need to keep an eye out on that. The next one we're going to talk about is CIB. We're looking at a daily chart. CIB, this was what I said on the 17th. Basically, I said possible it's going to be a closure at the $54.80 mark here. And basically, I said I made this comment on the 17th regarding CIB. Thus far, is heading in the right direction. However, what has developed since I have made this screenshot, there has been a gap lower here, and this gap is at the $46.70 mark. So you have to watch out for this gap. It looks like it might be some resistance at the 50% fib here. This is the ultimate gap closure that we're looking at here, which is at the 76.4% fib, a little higher than that. This is where I anticipate the gap might close, but before you enter this trade, pay close attention to this lower gap here that has developed at the $46.70 mark, okay, concerning CIB. So on Monday morning, look at the chart, see how the stock is going, and make your own judgment concerning CIB and whether or not there is going to be a possible gap closure at the $54.80 mark. Again, we're looking at a daily view. Do not expect this to happen overnight. This is not a high dollar stock like Priceline or Google or Amazon. Like I said, it's only trading for barely $50.